Okay. Now I've just got to figure out how this is supposed to be going there. I'm doing my first time trying to use my stream manager on phone. So, okay. Let's see. Says I'm streaming. Hopefully people can hear me. Let me go see what's going on. No, I just tried to use something extremely stupid. I'm live. There's my art. Program. Hello? Okay, good. Let's pick up that. If anyone's up hearing me, say hello. If anyone happens to have just popped in, I am the Night Rocket. You can call me Night. We are going to be drawing some stupid shit, and I'm basically just testing out how well streaming does on my desktop computer. I don't usually use that one, but it's supposed to be for the one which I do all my digital art and stuff. But hopefully, once I get this up, that means I'll be able to do normal types of art streams and other sort of thing. Oh, right. Let's see. Chat's still empty. That's that. Sorry, I'm also learning about how to use the stream manager on my phone, since I now have a way to be able to look at my chat a lot right next to where I'm working. I know, but baby steps, noob issues, whatever. Oh, alright. What the heck was I even gonna draw? I don't know, but we're gonna do some of the basic warm-up practices I like to do. Let me make sure I've got it on the stuff that I like. Yeah, that's about right. Okay. I like to start by making all the basic shapes the best I can. I'm either going to... I guess it's fine. I'm going to have to get used to it. After all, you guys... Yes. You guys... Chat. Do need to be able to understand what the heck you're seeing. I forget, I am using half a drawing stylus, so I don't have the eraser button on the other end anymore. So we're just gonna have to go from that. Okay. Alright. Basically, when I'm getting ready and getting back control over my ability to draw, I like to draw the basic shapes, starting with all kinds of circles. About one row will be good for making sure for that. I use a lot of circles in my drawing, so it's very important to keep that up. Mostly because, well, I act a lot like an artist noob and happen to draw a lot of anime heads. You know, start off with your basic sketch circle, you drag down the face bits, make a nice chin, try to erase your in-betweens. Other people tend to put the cross down line. Sorry, I just realized you can't see my, what do you call it, cursor there, so. Can you? Only kind of, okay. You guys can kind of see my cursor. But yeah, but then you put like, what I always thought was like the eyebrow line, the nose line, and like the bottom of nose line. So it's one of those weird things. I don't usually do that unless I really need to figure out where the heck the face is facing. Which, honestly, I need to learn about much more often, and I've got like 1.5 million books. Some people could easily attest to it. I mean, meaning they've seen my room. But, basically, we're just going to be doing basic drawing like that. Like I was trying to show earlier, you go and make yourself basic anime-like face. Never forget your lips. Never forget your noses. I like to put at least a little bit of detail in my noses. And then, fuck, I don't know. Crazy anime dumbass hair. You know, that sort of thing. But anyway, yeah, I always start by making the circle as the base for the head. So that's why we're doing all of our practice circles. That was a lot for very little. I do understand. Do have a little bit of nervousness going on. And also, just because this is a test stream to try to see whether or not my computer, my phone, and my tablet and everything are going to actually continue working. I kind of didn't write up any sort of scripty thing to even begin the stream with. So I just needed to make sure that I had as much as I could there. Okay, as far as I'm concerned, we're pretty much on our proper circles and stuff. Some of them a little more ovoid, but it doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. We're making sure that we can execute a good curve. Remember, have your confidence in your marks. Alright. From there, we get to move on to the next basic shape for practice. Your triangles. Why do you need a basic triangle? Hard to think of and or explain it. I guess mostly it's practice trying to make sure that you have proper control over your hands, where your marks are going to go, and in relation to other marks. Like, let's say we've got ourselves a crazy shape. I'm supposed to do crazy shapes after getting everything else done, but mostly what I tend to do, or what kind of I focus on most, is being able to control where you want to put your shapes within imaginary boundaries. Being able to control the spaces between your marks. Like, if you want to just keep this generalized space on all sides and doing it manually, without drawing another shape inside the shape, or copying and sizing down, you'd be surprised that drawing triangles is an excellent way to get your body to know that. Because, sure, you could just sloppily make a triangle. That was actually a pretty damn good triangle, despite the fact that I wanted to make it sloppy. There's something stupid like that. Yeah, that's a little bit more to my point. You got that stupid little curve, you got the, Sometimes your triangles end up looking stupid, having an angle, be too dang long when you're trying to do mostly equilateral triangles. Yeah, that sort of thing, you want to be able to make sure that you purposefully make your shapes the way you want them to be. That's basically what I'm talking about when practicing triangles comes around. Like, you want to be able to purposefully make sure that each of your angles, each of your sides, are properly made. So then you can make... Okay, that's actually a little bit of a too wonky of a triangle from what I'm trying to point out. I want to go back to what we were doing. Like... Yep, slightly acute. Okay. Basically, just triangles are just essential for making yourself learn how to control your strokes. Why did I go back to this one? Well, I'm making triangles anyway, so I might as well just finish out this little bit that I'm doing here. Let's see. Gotta try your best not to make a big curve like that. It's essential to work on practicing your straight lines for when you need them. Alright. Let's see, a few more triangles as I'm trying to make sure I can get across there to sort of make a point of what I'm trying to be showing here. But once you get your equilateral triangles back down, you can start working on like your acute angles, your obtuse angles, all the crazy stuff like that. Triangles in every direction. Just all the sorts of things I like to do to make sure that I'm nice and sharpened back up. Ends up showing that I spend a lot of time on this, but I just want to make sure that it's kind of actually showing that my brain is back in the artsy order, so to say. And the next one, I try to make squares and rectangles. Still having some trouble on that, as you can see. Some of the lines are, if you actually look at them, kind of bad. But that's what the practice and training and all of that is for. Why are we making just normal shapes? For anyone who might have just come in? 1, practice. And 2, no, your basics. Anyway. Let me try to get these back out of there so we can get back on to working on through everything that I suggest you try to practice every day. I know we were talking about warm-ups and stuff, and I kind of can't help that, but with something in-depth like this, it's just another thing that I can help get some good footage to try to double-check my stream's integrity and all that sort of stuff. Everything looks okay, just a slight delay I was to expect for the stream. Alright. It's not even close to something I wanted to move toward. Your rectangles. Once we get through this practice thing, then I'll start working on what I actually wanted to start drawing today. What is that? Well, my parents decided that if they're going to be more supportive of me doing any of this art stuff, that apparently I've got to do art to the house. We've got basics of the house. Basically, they want me to put fish on the front part here. No, they want me to put more than just fish. They want me to put a whole underwater scene. Basically, the grass flat and a fish. Oh, I'm having a fun time. You know, that sort of thing. That's what I've got to start really practicing for, which is what I'm going to be getting into later on in the stream. But I'm going to be working on, let's see, what do I call it? Basically, I've got a few more basics I want to show off first before we get into the practice that we're going to be doing for this stuff. I'll leave that there as a bit of a reminder for what I'm aiming for in the future. Okay. Doing more. And doing faster to build up the line confidence. And also it'll be more fun to continue underneath in the final chunk of this here. I'm doing a lot of warm-up, you may be saying. Well, one, I just want to do a little bit of wasting time in order to make sure that the stream can catch everything, see what it's got going for itself, all that sort of thing. But also, just I've always wanted to show off exactly what the heck I tend to do for getting ready to draw. Showing off some of the essentials that some artists should work on a little bit every day to be able to bolster what they can do. I probably said some version of this before, but I find it kind of important, as there's a lot of it I like to do that I think helps me pretty much when I need to get ready to draw. Okay, anyway, the final thing I like to practice is the more fun shapes. Namely, the star. Except not doing that. Doing a star manually. Ass. Looks like ass. Looks like a pair of butt cheeks, except way pointier. Yeah, that looks like that. That's why we gotta get better at it. So, also want to show off a little bit of how I tend to think about making a star, but not doing it in the old crossover way. Well, let's break down the crossover way. We've got triangles, and we've got a shape inside, if you see. It's a pentagon. So I always think, work on the pentagon first. That can be, if you're a really beginner, the first thing that you can practice on. Then you work on making sure you can make your triangles on all the sides the exact size and shapes that you want. Don't even need to make them the same sizes at all, or even pointing the same directions. That's how you can make it have some really nice fun. But let's go back to basics and try to make a mostly equal star. So, you try very carefully using that control we were trying to work on earlier in our practice to try to make them relatively okay. I know that this one, these guys too long. These ones kind of don't bring off the same things that this one does. Like, I do believe they see directly off from here happens to be the best way to do it. So if you actually wanted the correct pointing, which by the way I don't practice, but I really should, it's something like that. You go. Make your points off from that guy. That center line. A little too small. But, yeah, that's how you're supposed to be able to make a proper star. Now, once you're in basic shapes like this, you don't have to do stars. Don't gotta. You can instead do other fun shapes. Like you can work on your irregular, anything from your irregular quadrilaterals, trapezoids. Basically, just bringing together all that you've learned. You can work on more powerful shapes like that pentagon, or its cousins, the hexagon. It's even more difficult cousins, the heptagon. Octa, whatever the heck you want to get to. Or you can go and make the different kinds of stars, like the four-pointed star, that six-pointed guy. Basically just for working on how all your skills intersect. That's your basic drawing. Basic drawings all over. Hey, Get It 01 finally fucking showed up. I was waiting on you, man. Hope you didn't mind that I did a little bit of, what the heck's it called? I used your stream promotion channel. Yeah, I hope you didn't mind that. I just really wanted to get everybody to at least have a fighting chance of coming down, since I haven't streamed in a long while. By the way, how you been, man? I know you streamed earlier. By the way, everyone also go follow and subscribe to him right now. He's great for gaming, especially in fun ones like Fallout 76 and Yu-Gi-Oh! I'd like to do some of those, but I don't trust my computer right now, which is why I haven't been doing a lot of streaming. Oh, you was eating? Well, hopefully it was something good, because, I want something good. Oh, who am I kidding? I had McDonald's earlier. I literally can't complain. I probably still had something better than you, knowing the situation you're in. Sorry, bud. I gotta take a sip. Brats and fries? I mean, the first one was actually spelling correct, but the second one did help us with the pronunciation, so I understand. Brats first. So yes. Anyway, still sounds cool. Good on you. Anyway, yeah, right here I was showing off some of the different levels of practice you should do. Ignore this guy. I was just showing off for what I usually use the circles for. Basically, in a good drawing practice, I usually start with the circles, go on to triangles, squares and shit. More of them. And all the other shit. Yeah, anime guy. We'll get there when we get there. Probably not this stream, unfortunately. It's just show how I usually start a lot of my drawing anime peoples by using the basal circle there, and then you draw the rest of the face. You know. Goodness, I can't believe I did all those labels. Anyway, I believe that basically covers the basics of how I usually warm up, and that's kind of sad that I can make a whole page already just to warm up. But that's not what we're here for. We need a whole nother... Where the heck is the new layer? I think that's it. Oh, another new layer to begin what I actually wanted to, and I'm actually going to have to... I just realized I'm going to have to actually search up again what the heck all of it was. But we're drawing fish. Fish. Most specifically for that mural, I've apparently got to go and eventually paint on the outside wall of my house. We're gonna be doing at least 4. Yes, fish. We're gonna be doing and practicing on 4 of them today. Ah, no, that was the wrong color. Bullet. Sheephead. Oh great, I don't quite know what the other 2 should be. I mean, I have the list. I'm just, let's see. Which ones sound the most fun to do on a stream? List. Heck it, we'll do the funky ones today. Flounder and not the same type of fish, but we're doing bat rays. You probably heard them as stingrays. You'll understand them when you get there. So, alright. Now I gotta go and find my pictures again so I'll be able to get us started. Why didn't I have them before? I really just wanted to bet a bat ray. Oh, jeez, get it. Alright. Anyway, the mullet, which actually means the black mullet, also called the striped mullet. It is delicious. Come to Florida, make sure you get yourself a mullet. Though be careful, because all the water around here is absolutely terrible for ever due to everything that's happened down here with all the pollution and spillages and whatnot. Anyway, make sure you eat it, and we're gonna go find one to draw. Give me a second to get those pictures again, because I put them in the entirely wrong places on this thing. Meaning not on this thing at all, actually. Okay. I got it on the other computer. Why did I put it on the other computer? Oh. By the way, do not put in just black mullet. You need to add a fish on the end of it, or else you're just going to end up with too many different hairstyles. Though it is a great way to find actual pictures of dudes rocking black mullets. The hair. Anyway, we needs us a mullet. Let's see, where the heck you... Sure, we're gonna use a picture from Food University, it says. Let's see if I can do something like drag it in or something. I hope so. That'd be helpful. No? Nope, this is not Millinote. I'm going to have to do it the other way. View image. Okay. It's R. I certainly hope that I won't just get an R. Let's see, reference pictures. Make sure to if you're going to be saving any pictures from the internet, please write down where you got it. Alright, let's go back into my thing, try to... Okay, yes, it's just over there. Alright. Let's see if I happen to have actually gotten the picture saved correctly. Looks like a no. Alright, let's find another one here. I'm sorry, guys. Well, it's so old school. It's beyond retro. I mean, yeah. Really is so. Really wanted a reference picture so that you guys would be able to see it too, but trying to search for him is being really annoying right now. Stop. Sorry, this thing is being a little annoying. I want to show off a really good picture of the fish. Come on, fish, 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 fish. No. Okay, let's see. Oh. Okay, that's a new idea from Get It. A new kind of Yu-Gi-Oh! Fish type deck. Call it the Bullet deck. A bunch of bullet, but they're actually bullets of different caliber. That is very cool. A very cool idea, actually. I agree. Oh, wait. Shoot, where was this picture from? I'm not currently seeing any better details, so I'm going to see if I can get this one in. It's from a blogspot page, so I'm going to try to write that in as our note for coming back later. Okay, let's see if we can import that sucker now. Pictures, references. Here we go, I can actually see it now. Fish. That's not what I wanted, but fuck it. Hold on. Okay, I think I need to do a different setting. Import image. Let's try that again. Oh, and it's here. Finally, we have fish. Behold, it's delicious. Now we want to draw the fish just about this size. Why? Well, because fish, okay? Get a little bit closer. Now we are going to attempt to copy the fish. I may need a smaller brush considering how big I had it. Let's work with 5. Okay. Drawing test commences. We begin fish. Fish, 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 fish. No. Not quite enough. We're sloping like this. This is also a bit of to show off how you reference pictures. Oh, squids. Squids are the new idea. Canada one's deck idea. They'd have a squid monster called the Calamari. Yeah, that sounds just as stupid enough that they might do it. Alright. I don't mean stupid in a bad way. I mean, that is exactly the kind of pun they would do. Okay. Gotta make sure you got all of your important ideas that you need to show off on this fish. Incredibly small. Got a dark face. Oh, actually, it's quite a lot's dark about him. Give a cowboy hat if you want. I presume you're talking about the calamari, but hell, I'll put one on this fish too. Don't try to stop me. Let's see. We're gonna make sure all the bits are at the right angles. Make our fins. Looks like that's a little bad, but could be better, could be worse. Try to get rid of some of this extra that we're gonna try to fix up later. Mostly sloping. The lone fin ranger. Yeah, true. Too true. Okay. Got a little bit of side fins down here. Okay, that's kind of that. Let's see. Fins down here. Not quite. Or in there, it says. Alright. More fish, more fish, more fish. Why more fish? Because I have to practice fish, dang it. But also, we all deserve a good practice of fish. I'd like to deserve a good dinner of fish, but beggars can't be choosers, now can they? No, that's actually very incorrect. I've seen these fish and know how they work. I have seen these gosh be darned fish. Ugh. Okay, let's get back over here. Do something that we can do very well. The biggest finnos. Start them right about there. Right about here. Move it out. There. I want to show off that the dark starts a line after the end, the curving in end here. That's what we're making here. And trying to show off. Actually works pretty good if you make them with dash lines instead of straight ones all across there. Looks very convincing. And let's see. A few more things I've got to try to get that all together. I just forgot I've got to make this a bit more defined because that's actually the gill area where they open up to breathe. You know, you guys know how fish work. You don't need the marine biology studying person to tell you how fish fish. Maybe how to fish the fish, but not much of anything else. It should be. Okay. Let's see. Despite being pretty much sideways, the eyes are big and do look forward. Why did I do that? I honestly have no idea. I'm gonna try to make it a little more cloudy because most of the time you're gonna see dead fish whenever you're seeing fish. Fish is too delish, but they wish they could just avoid the dish. Yeah, true. Okay, let's see. Let's see. We get the higher side fins we're working on now. Just a wee bit. This is kind of one of the worst versions of it that I've drawn recently. Going to, by sight, try to double check our connection areas. Get a little too all up in myself. These are supposed to be a wee bit lower and with a more gentle curve to the tail from the top, so extendo fins. Okay. Let's see. Are we ready? It's kind of how the fish fins. Alright. Probably ready for basic coloring in. Let me see here. For some reason, very difficult for me to get their little chud chins correct. That's about as close as I've gotten that so far. And why do I have to get these fish particularly correct in that mural I'm going to be making? Well, it's supposed to be representative of the house and the people that live in it. Meaning, like, you know, my dad. He is basically the fish man, town fisherman. The guy everybody knows to come to for the fish. His main catches are going to be our first two fish today. The striped mullet, which, as I said, is delicious. Let's see. Once again it gets his computer, he'll go to Dueling Book and make the bullet mullet deck there after I make art for the fish. And fish! Yes, fish. And my dad's second favorite to catch is going to be our second one. Let me... Looks funny, but the sheephead. Anyway. We'll get to that one when we get to it. You're gonna have some fun seeing that bastard. It's gonna be great. In a what the fuck is that fish sort of sense. Everybody loves playing that game. What the fuck is that fish? What the fuck is that fish? The best game in the world. What the fuck am I looking at? After you pull it out of the water. Now, ordinarily, I shouldn't be drawing the scales this way. But I'm actually kind of excited now to get moving on to our next few fish. So, we're going to be making the generalized waves of scales here. Indeed, the best kind of game. What the fuck did I just pull out of the depths of the abyss? And the scales of my attempts at not attempting nearly hard enough on these scales have now just ruined the fish. Oh well. I'm doing practice. You guys are watching me fuck up a fish. Said fuck up. Get it? No, it's what the abyss gave you, not what you took from it. Yeah, you're right. If only I hadn't done all this on one layer. Well, I could undo, but I'm far too along and far too lazy for that. So, let's just fuck around and get this fish done so I can move on to the next fish. Indeed. Hooray for lazy. You'll get to see me fuck up even harder on the next 3 fish because I really haven't tried them before. Sort of properly? Oh, if only I had just continued this, it would have looked so much better. Yeah, if I had just done that in the first place, everything would not have been so terrible. I give this an oh well out of 5. So, let's hide that fish. Go find us another fish. Which is going to be our sheephead. Yes, I know it has another S in there. Don't worry about it. Floridians call it sheephead. Alright, let me go find that now. Almost there, fellers. We're gonna get 2 pictures on this one because, well, I ended up... Yes, sheep's head. Let's face it, it's sheephead. Anyway, I'm about to come up with 2 pictures that, let's face it, as I was saying, I found on Wikipedia. And for a very important reason. Well, I should actually find one more picture. One that really says what all of it is about. Or rather, while you're looking at a sheephead, you're never going to be able to sleep again. Why do I say you're never going to be able to sleep again? Ah, here we go. Let me see if I can... Hey. Luckily, I don't believe I have to put this in any particular pose, so I think you're gonna like this. Get it? Keep your bad jokes out of this. I need to go back to this one. Anyway, I guess I'll show you guys 1 and 2 pictures, one from Wikipedia and one in another way. Let me actually import them correctly this time, though. Here's guys. Now, first, this guy in the blue. It's the same as the guy in the background, but you're going to find out why real soon. This is a sheephead. It's also pretty tasty. They're usually very smaller and very flatter than the mullet. But they can still be incredibly big, too. Now, our much larger picture friend. It's going to be a little difficult for me to try to size down, isn't it? Let's see if I can find his corner. Yeah. Let's temporarily turn this guy off so I can show you guys something to keep in your nightmares. The reason why they're called sheepheads, or why you may hear some pretty weird stories, they got 1.5 million crazy-ass, blunt-ass teeth. They'll also be told that they look like they have human teeth. They obviously don't. I mean, look how many rows that is. But they're pretty crazy. So that y'all should be able to know and learn about that sort of thing. Because if nobody ever tells you about the horrors of the sheephead, well, let's just say that I wasn't the one who forgot to tell you. Anyway, that's the critter we're gonna be drawing next. Both of these are the same species. This one down on the bottom just looks like he's been dried out a bit for science. Those monsters. Alright. This one I'm keeping up here because you can see his fins out a lot better, which is another thing I've got to make sure that I'm able to draw too. Unlike the mullet, you can see all of his fins go all the way down his back, and he's got several other kooky places that he's put them. So, let me go back to our drawing layer and get right on it. No, I'm not going to draw his mouth open. In fact, if anyone's happening to have some nightmares right now, I'm gonna scooch that guy's mouth off and away. We really don't need it right now. We'll come back to it later. So, back to everything. I'm gonna be kind of pushing this guy the other way instead. This is one of the first ones I have not drawn yet. So if it looks terrible despite my attempts at copying, I don't know, sorry? I don't think I'm gonna have enough room for fish just having it here. Let's get to the root of the problem, but molar over the issue. You can't handle the tooth? Can it? Really? Oh boy. Say a little bit up, but it begins sloping down a lot quicker. We have our little chunk here. And I need to scooch our dumbass fish over. Oh well. It is the dumbass who made the dumbass fish. So, let's keep moving. Looks like he's got a little thing there. And he's got a comparatively small... Ah. I know. Let's see if we can't... Sorry about the mouth, guys. It kind of freaks me out, too. That's kind of what... Oh, right. And... Make sure I have good hold on that. No, we need the end of the fin to come back. Okay. Yeah, close enough. Get back to the fish we're drawing. Drag him back over. Okay, since he's got long here and kind of short down. Now, freaking bot. How do you ban? There we go. Bot's gone. Back to fish. Well, it looks about-ish. The shapes. Okay, actually, this needs to be a little bit more all by itself. Okay, no, actually, this is not as short as you'd think. Sorry to keep moving this back and forth. I'm still trying to figure some things out. Bot defeated, another victory for TF2. Yeah. Sure was. That's about what I can get there. Let's just try to keep my understanding of certain things to that about. Okay. Let's start working on where the pieces of the face are supposed to be. Looks like he's got a grumpy fat old geezer face. Just all the silly things that I happen to think about it. Trying to do some of these. Yeah. Somewhere's in there is supposed to be the correct fish. Okay. Let's try to work on where the heck. It's supposed to come down as if the beginning of the buck teeth. Anyway, people call them bots, right? Because people think it's the bottom of the barrel. Yeah. Let's see. Now these guys look a little more to the side. Shows that they're more of the grazers that they are. After all, that's why they have all those blunt teeth. They eat algae and all that sort of thing. All along the bottom of the sea floor and all that sort of whatnot. Dang it. Okay. Yeah, put things a little too far. You're not supposed to be there. Yeah, pieces you weren't supposed to be there. You can see that very clearly. I have not drawn too much of this fish before. After all, it looks so much worse than the mullet. So much more. So much worse. Got a little face hump. Oh yeah. Okay, that reminds me. If anyone's lurking, please come out and say hi. Oh yeah, and follow me if you happen to like what I do. Mostly need to just come out and say hi at least once. After all, new rules on Twitch say that if you lurk for too long, it stops counting you in the stream viewer count. So if you like anything going on here, that's a way that you can continue helping. Trust me, I wish I didn't have to try to push anybody like that. But that's how all this stuff works. Okay. Let's see here. Trying to get all the little things. Okay. Perhaps the back of the mouth needs to be more there. A little bit closer. Okay. Alright now. Where is that side fin supposed to go about? Very shallowly. Get a little bit more from our favorite deranged image. So we can kind of see more about what that's actually supposed to look like. Need to study almost the whole form because I don't know how and where I'm going to be putting the sheep head on the picture. The major final picture, which I hope to post somewhere as well. Yes, indeed. If you are lurking, you can also type Feast Army. It's good enough. Let's see. It says there's a whole bunch of dark here, so let's make some dark lines to show off that. Not very cool, but as close as we can get to a lot of what I was hoping. Alright. Now we're going to be practicing the bottom. I've got to make sure I put this relatively somewhere correct. Now, unlike the other fish, I'm not going to be doing very well on exactly. You know, I should call my followers the Fish Army. We're still working on that. Yeah, we'll figure it out. I'm not so much fish yet. But if you follow, everybody gets a fish. And eventually, I'll get it to where everybody that subscribes will get, what do you call it? Custom fish. Which means I'll need another art stream to make the custom fish. But until then, let's see. Okay. Then we have about the butt area. The gosh darn fish spur that they love to get everybody who's trying to pick them up with. Along with the spikes on the back, but we're still on the back end of the fish. That actually looks kind of awful. Let me try that again. Yeah, now on for stream to have tiny fish swimming around the bottom screen. Okay, that I can accept. Absolutely, that one I can accept. I would absolutely make all of you guys into an aquarium if I could. Considering my mad scientist thing, I just happen to have gotten the stupidest idea to have all of you guys be Fishman from that old Dreamcast game, Fishman. With all your stupid little faces swimming around. Wouldn't that be cursed or what? Anyway. Yeah. Hopefully I'll keep having so much of fun here. Fishman. Not like Fishman. Not like Fishman, no. Fishman. I haven't tried it perfect, but this should get across the general idea of what the fuck it is, if you haven't seen it before, and if you have, this should be causing some nightmares. Okay, now can I get back to my appropriately scheduled fish? Yes, Murlocs would be better. Mm-hmm. Yeah, Finn kind of looks like that. I really got to 1 hour, 7 minutes? Cool. And I got 3 followers. I know. Or viewers, excuse me. I wish it was followers. Also, you know, follow to eventually subscribe. But follow for now. But anyway. Back to what I was saying. Anyway, thanks to anybody who's coming around. That really means a lot to me. Yeah. Got something unstuck. It should have remained stuck. Oh yeah, I kind of didn't do the details on the caudal fin, did I? Okay. I'm gonna have to fix that up, too. Even if I'm not going to fully draw the whole thing. Considering it's way back there and I am way up here. Yeah, anyway. Following comment, speaking to a freak out, I'm sure. Yeah, maybe. If you're just using me for background audio, well, you are yourself drawing. Well, that's cool. Definitely, before we reach 2 hours, tell us what you anyone else who happens to be watching, tell us what you're drawing. It'd be cool. If you're following along with the fish. Well, 1, why? And 2, I hope it's good. Okay. And now the top fin nightmares. I know we have an angle, but I've also seen these fish in real life, so it's not actually all that far off. Let's see. And if you're in school, tell us what kind of school fish you're with. Yeah. If they're in school right now, well, I'm quite sorry for you. Okay. Not perfect. But this is going to show off the generalized idea. Something fish. Not sure, just trying to make everything almost okay. I guess that. Let's see, we need some more markings here. 'Cause that's about the point that we're at right now, according to fish. Fish step is always most slippery. Ah, goodness, get another one. Alright. Yeah, some dark down here, apparently. Dark across there. Anything's a little not so terrible there. And now we make their big old stripes, because that's incredibly important with the fish. Trust me. And to quote Springtrap, I'm the fun one. Alright. Bringing Springtraps into my lair. When we've got perfectly good fish here. I should slap you with a fish. Yes, we're gonna get closer to looking like fish properly. Once we begin getting into the fun thing that I decided to be really silly about before. Pulls out Monster Hunter Frozen Tuna Weapon. Man, I cast flicked C bud in your freaking mouth. Don't threaten me with a good meal. Yeah, this is the part that takes the longest time. Why am I doing it this way? I don't know. Trying to get some of the curvature of the fish. Why do I even do the scales in this wibbly sort of way? I am honestly being lazy about it. Because the way I should do it should probably be doing it in the crosshatch method, because that's kind of the way their scales look like they're already put together. Okay, we're gonna try out that method, see which side looks better. For this particular type of fish. Maybe if I had made those marks extra thick, it would have been looking a lot closer to some of this kind of pattern. You can see there's a little bit of an oval in their overlap. Yes, I said it that way on purpose. Okay. No, that's not what I intended. Let's see. Great. Now I've got myself practicing, trying to figure out how actual, and what sort of shorthand would be best to show it off, huh? Oh, goodness me. Anyway, gotta make sure, at the least most, that the fish's appropriate stripes come out, because that is a very identifiable feature of the fish. Okay, when I get the ability to have sound effects, we need the, oh, brother, this guy stinks! Yeah, you're right. We do. We do. Either for me or for you. Give it to chat. They'll have it going off every 5 seconds. That's only on the assumption that I get any chat. And it's okay. This is literally a test thing from my main computer. So, it's fine. I mean, Getting a 1 seems to be having a good time with me, so as far as I'm concerned, success. Yeah. Let's see. Okay, honestly, the face is a lot more gray than the other fish we just did, so I'll put a little bit more shadow into that to sort of do. Sorry. That was another one of Gannon's messages, in case nobody got why I had to do the fanfare. Yeah, I guess kind of, sort of. Everything on the top is kind of light, but going towards the back, the spikes get dark. That is kind of true, yes. Let's see. You miss Final Fantasy VII? Yeah, those new Final Fantasy VII games really did not help bring back anything from them. It's like, you just teased us, man. They just teased us. I know it was your first one. Technically mine too, because I was sitting there on my butt next to you watching you play it. Sorry, had to have a sip there. All right. Anyway, let's see. Bad fish, semi okay, but mostly bad fish. And let's get these guys out of here because we need to move on to our next fish. Yeah, in theory, we should still be able to fit everybody in. All the fish we need. So, okay. Let's quickly move on to the flounder. What's the best? The whole vibe of it. Loved it. The systems. Yeah. Final Fantasy VII just had everything just so cool. So cool. Let's see. We need to find a Florida flounder. Not Disney flounder. We are not drawing him. Just makes you sad, you know. And issues trying to find this fish earlier when I was getting ready to make my milling out board for it as well. Okay, let's look at this thing from Bad Angling, which had some of the ones I already was looking at earlier. Yeah, I guess I'd say that would be our best image. Okay. Maybe try replicating the vibes. One can make stuff for stream. I'm gonna have, you know, at least half of the mechanical vibes I'm going to be trying to be making from my own stream, like borders and overlays and stuff. It is partially inspired, but it's some of the old techno stuff from that. Some sci-fi, some of the old retro tech you'll see in movies like Alien, but trying to make it all darker, eviler, all that sort of thing. So yeah, I completely understand that sort of tech is like peak. I definitely can't wait to see some for your stream and to get some made on mine. Okay. Alright, let me just get this third picture set. Third picture set, we'll say, yeah. In here. Get us a new fish. Once again, fish too goddamn big. Oh well. I don't know why it wasn't on automatic. Flounder, though. A little too scaled, so I'll try to see about stuff. Oh, maybe learn 3D modeling, make a mini model in original Final Fantasy VII character style. That shaky blocky style. Yeah, people nowadays happen to call that low poly style. You can easily see that they're easily basing it off of like Final Fantasy VII characters, if not just a little bit upped in quality, just a tiny bit. Low poly, yep. And I'll make this fish just small enough. Because we're going to be putting it right next to our previous sheep head. No, down or up from it. Somewhere like right there. Because we're going to be trying to make one for our own. This guy is scaled, so I'm going to have to look into what they tend to look like with their scales on. But anyway, this is the kind of thing I was saying that you'll need your basic shapes for. Because look at him, he's mostly a diamond. When being a fish didn't work out, so you gotta be a diamond. It's okay, everybody knows it. knows the tales of the flounder. What are the tales of the flounder? Feck if I know, but something he fell on his side, and so his head now now rotates all of its bits except for the mouth up to the top. You know, fish things. Low poly style sounds great. It honestly is great. If anything, I think 3D modeling and you dedicating some time to learn low poly would probably do you real good. It'd be so cool. It'd be so cool. Tons of people happen to be around that are like doing it, learning it. Let's see, we got one of his great googly moogly eyes. Well, you shouldn't have laid down on your side if you didn't want everything to go to shit, Flounder. Let's see there. Needs okay, the jump's a little bit weird, but that's fine. Try to work on the rest of his eyes here. Just needed a moment to quiet down just a tad. Because ordinarily, unless I'm at work, I'm not usually talking this much. I'll be honest with you. Set up PNG picture stuff. Set model at first before trying full moving 3D model. Yeah, that sounds pretty good for you, get it? Sounds like a great plan. Apparently a gill hole here. Oh, this actually should be smaller. Here. Let's see. There. There's a little bit of showing differences across here. Along here, those would be good contours to remember. The eye is honestly too big, but it's just too heckin' funny to really change much of about now. Alright, now I want to draw a design new model with FF7 robot vibes. Well, heck, do it. You can have this on as a draw with me sort of thing. I don't care. Get right along. Losing some of the points again. Trying to make sure I've got the fins relatively okay. Yes, I am getting a little lazy, but hey, I'm still learning about most of these fish, okay? Sometimes just having a little fun and learning more about the basics of the fish will help you later in any extra fish things you want to do. Let's see. Basically just learning more about the drawing itself process. What it feels like to draw these whatever creature you happen to be on at the time, really. That's actually not a piece of it there, and technically not a piece of it here. So yeah, get rid of those. I know, we're just drawing fish, but hopefully nobody's too bored. Let's see, big fins, getting right to it. I'm getting a little tired. I do have to admit, my hand is doing that holding the pen too tight, so now you're hurting yourself thing. Sucks. Anyway, these edges, just a little bit of the webbing between each. And some of them do start to move in an almost really cute fashion. But that's really just our getting down the general idea of what we're trying to do here. Now, the fun part is, of course, we got so many dots and circles and stuff to do. Don't forget, you gotta make sure you get all the good stuff. Oh, I gotta change over what things of my devices are now plugged in, because my phone just cannot hold on to a charge worth a damn. So anyway, let's see, try to get our major spots here. Also, I've just realized, sorry I don't have any, like, music or anything. I'm still learning a lot about trying to find stuff for that, too. Figure out how we can put together some of the fun stuff there, just even on a normal stream, on what I would usually prefer to. Or the computer I'd usually prefer to stream on. That sort of thing. Learning a lot. Let's see, trying to get the biggest dots here before I start just going all kinds of stupid with whatever the heck dots I want to draw. Alright, and getting it all in. It says he's going to pick a different boss robot for Final Fantasy 7 and try to make different versions of the model based off of them. Sounds pretty cool. Let's see. Time to go back to the... I hear a creature in the bathroom, which is right next to my room. I'm hoping it's a father. Meaning, of course, my father, but anyway. Because otherwise, I'm going to be very concerned. So we've got most of the coloring within this middle area here in the fins and all that. Let me see. Oh, it looks like I've actually accidentally forgotten a whole darn fin. Let's add in some room so I can add it in. This is how much I know so very little about flounder. Let's see. Yep. Some more of the coloring here. Now, I'm going to admit I have absolutely no indication that I believe myself to be any sort of good with any of these drawings. I'm literally just practicing it right in front of you guys. So, if you want to say, hey, your fish sucks, honestly, I agree with you. My fish does suck right here. Gonna need so many more spots. And some of them look wonkier than hell, even when naturally they look wonky as hell. All kinds of cool, all kinds of stuff. I'll add in the assorted dots, literally freaking everywhere. Extremely hard to see them, but gotta put them just about everywhere we can, because they are just about everywhere that they could possibly be on the fish. There's nothing to do, okay? And I do get bored. Okay. Get to work on just a little bit of something more fun here. And a little bit of what looked like something fun going on here for a second. But it's just finishing up the flounder tail. Ugh. Hand. That actually burns more than a little. I'm gonna have to take a check on that. Okay, rotate the wrist. Alright. I'm gonna look real quick to see if there's anything really different that I can pick out from the details and maybe just what their scales tend to look like to make sure that I can add them in relatively well. But anyway, real fish up in the black, my fish here in the gray, both look like they need to beg Jesus for another shot at this evolution thing. Oh well. Such is life. Don't we all, don't we all? At least it feels like it some days. But yeah, that should finish up my first flounder practice there. Not too bad. I guess it kind of looks okay on the stream as well. Could be better, could be worse. Alright. Alright. Now let's get rid of this fish. and find us the final fish we've got to deal with today. We got through these three. And you know what these three have in common? You can eat them. This one, then why is this one on here? It's a ray, meaning a stingray. Why is this one here? Well, because that one also happens to have a pretty interesting story. Basically, not too many months or years after the stingray that took out Steve Irwin, my dad happened to have had a similar incident. Luckily, he didn't die, obviously. But one happened to have stuck him with his stinger right in the back of the knee. He says it's like it was in the back of his leg, but I'm pretty sure it was in the back of his knee. And he's just kind of hated them ever since. But why are they going on there? Well, I mean, they are important in his fishing life, so we're gonna go find one. So then I can draw it, and we'll show off those 4 different fish. Why'd I draw this one so small? Well, I'd already been told that I drew them a bit too big, with a bit too big of features. So I was trying to up what I already knew and had for that one. Oh yeah, he took a worse arrow than me. Well, I guess that's the reason why he doesn't go out fishing anymore. Nah. It's actually because he got really scared when I nearly died shortly after we had some fish for the local area. And since I nearly died, he kind of felt really guilty, thinking that he was the one who happened to have got the thing that got me septic, when I'm pretty sure it was something else in my body who happened to have just betrayed me. But that's basically why he does barely any fishing anymore. It kind of stinks. I've told and tried to explain it to him. I think he gets it right about now, but, you know, the way you react to people in your life will almost go in the way of the dinosaur. Okay, let's see. Yeah, right. I haven't gone to get the bat ray yet, so let me go get that. Yeah. Everything else is pretty much normal. Goodness, we didn't need to go that far back. Good computer. Okay. Getting our model for the last one. Yeah, that, hey, let me view the image, gosh and dang. Okay, just about got it. Wait, hold on. Fish on. Oh, right. This one could be a tizzy, but we finally got our last picture we are going to attempt to draw from. Where is it? Well, I mean, yeah, you can pretty much see the bat right now. Bat ray. The biggest difference between like a bat ray and a stingray? Well, one, tail's a bit shorter. Well, the point is bat ray. I can't actually remember all the details I'm supposed to be remembering for this explanation right now. Anyway, this particular picture was taken by Mr. Ken Jones, so definitely don't forget to properly credit your sources for your references and all that sort of thing. After all, if you don't, well, you're just a meanie pants. Anyway, I'll try to draw this one. Hey, they're not the night or vengeance. Well, maybe not the night, but I tried to put my dad night. But similarly, there was another fishing story about where there happened to have been another time where we just went out to, quote, the beach, aka one of the mud holes that my dad would tend to go fishing off of the side of the road. Most of them are closed off now, but there are some that are still open. Anyway, on the latest one, I do believe, one of his first throws happened to have had a bat ray, and because he is not about those guys at all, see previous story, he ended up flinging it out of his net and onto shore upside down. It was like a baby bat ray, so it was small, like pancake size. And I just felt so bad. I wanted to flip it back into the water, but he told me don't fucking touch it. And reminded me of his little incident. I'm like, it's a baby. It's a baby. And, well, in the end, I civilly disobeyed and happened to have saved the baby. He was very angry because coming back in, he saw it just chilling out. One of the coolest things, though, was actually that it tried to swim up to me to say thank you. And I'm like, yeah, okay. I appreciate you, too, but please go away, go home. Unfortunately, I don't have anything like food to give you for the return journey after your having attempted to schnuffocate due to my father's having a problem. Okay, yeah, I'm gonna have to move this image somewhere else again if I want to stick this up in here. Probably just going to be putting this picture over the sheet bed. Doesn't matter. Come on, give me back full control over this thing again. Alright, now we're back in. Should be able to start drawing again. Anyway, moral of that story was my dad ended up really not liking me on that fishing trip. I'm surprised I got any fish at all for dinner that night. Some head. Where the first points are supposed to be. Here. I think it's got silly duck hands. Do not tell them that. They may get offended. He's probably a little too wide, but we're not going for the exacts with our model here. We should think about it, but not going for exacts. Let's see. Modules. Exact curvature of the tail is probably heavily wrong. Considering I don't have the end of it right here. And of course that's supposed to be way smaller, almost microscopic. So then you really get to notice when it's so fucking terrible and hard to pull out, which was the whole main problem of trying to get this bastard out of my dad's leg that one time. And you know, it all is as is. Anyway, I believe these two sets would be different types of fins. And then their wide little lips are always just a joy to draw, but so dumb. So dumb to try to think about in action. Have you ever seen a ray eating? The way they go. They just look stupid. But it's also adorable. Anyway, some final detailing, since bat rays really don't have all that much of big detail from the overside to really be worrying about. Overside, topside. Anyway, that's life. Just how the cartilaginous fish goes. I am running out of a good few things to be able to say as I'm getting towards the end of all the fish that I had planned. After all, I kind of thought this was going to be a little stupid. Things weren't going to work. I was going to have more troubleshooting troubles? I don't know. But that's why you do testing streams. That's the important parts and bits, okay? Let's see. Try to make that stinger a little bit more horrifying. Get all the way down here. Make more of a hook-like end. That's pretty much how the stinger actually works. It happens to have a barb that goes backwards to make it incredibly difficult to pull out. And that happens to increase the owl factor. Well, it really wasn't much for that last guy. So, yeah. Let's try to get a good picture of all of our fish. We have our attempt at bullet, our attempt at the sheephead, our attempt at the flounder, and our attempt at the bat ray, which I guess I just left the tail a bit more to the imagination than I originally intended, but oh well, things happen like that. Yeah, well, their tails are actually incredibly thin. Anyway. So, which one do you guys think I did the worst? I'm saying between our sheephead and the flounder. Flounders, however, are supposed to look stupid, so I think I actually got it pretty well in that department. So I'm gonna say my worst one was the sheephead. He looks good, but he looks too put together to be a sheephead. You think the sheephead? Alright. Well, thanks for letting me know, Gannett. Let me see, what did I have? I have 4 minutes? Yeah, we can always end early. I don't really need it. I need a direct 2-hour stream today. I just wanted to see whether this thing can do it at all. So, yeah. Let's see. Let's get rid of all the extra windows. Try to make our being able to quit out as nice and easy as possible. Alright, but yeah. Thank you everybody for coming on down. I hope you had a good fishy time. Remember it? I can't even remember how I signed off on these things. But anyway, I've been the Night Rocket. Have a great time. And goodbye.